Hello and welcome. So in today's video I wanted to talk about side hustles, and in particular 7 side hustles that I think are really worth it and can really earn money. A lot of people, do videos about sort of side hustles and perhaps they're the things that the everyday person can't do, but I think with these 7 side hustles most people could have a go at some of them. Some of them I've done myself, some of them I've got on my list of things to do. So let's have a look. If you've not been with me before, my name is Suzanne and this is Money Made Magic, where we talk about all things budgeting, frugal living, saving money, paying down debt, all sorts of things like that. So let's get into looking at these side hustles. And the first one that I want to talk about is being a virtual assistant or a VA. So being a virtual assistant means that you support another business owner or a company, an organisation with their admin work. So you might do things like look after their emails, you might write emails for them, you might answer their emails for them, you might create social media posts for them, you might do organisational tasks for them. You might do things like physically posting mail, things like that. You might also do what I call niching as a VA, and one of the things that I've done in the past is I've helped somebody manage a YouTube channel. Not everybody can do YouTube, not everybody is good at that, but I learnt it and I really took to it because I got my own channel. So I did some work on somebody else's YouTube channel for them. And the other thing that I niched in was, because I've got learning and development and training background, I actually can help people make training plans, make lesson plans and organise delivery of training. Depends what you do. I mean, you may have another skill set that you can use in your VA work. So it's really easy to get out there as a VA. You just put your information out there in networking groups that you might belong to. If you don't belong to networking groups, I suggest you get into them. There's loads of them on Facebook. You can connect really well locally in your area with networking. And just start talking to people about what you do, start marketing what you do, start showing people what you do. You might want to do some things for free at first so people can see what you're capable of, and just let people know that you're out there. Fortunately, one of the things that happened for me was the business that I supported did get some funding. So if you're lucky enough to be able to find a business that's got some funding, they got access to work funding. So in the UK, that is a scheme where businesses can get support if they have health conditions, disabilities, etc., things that prevent them from carrying out their business. They can get funding to do that work, and that funding can be paid to somebody to support them in this way. So that's number 1, being a virtual assistant or a VA. So number 2 is training or teaching. Think about something that you're good at, something that you love, something that you know really well. You may have skills. I don't know, my skills, for example, have been in health and social care. I was a nurse for a lot of years, so I had a lot of knowledge and skills to bring to deliver training face to face, for example. I got a lot of work through that over the years. I developed and delivered training on learning disabilities and autism because that was my background. Yours may be something different. You may have been really good at filmmaking, for example, and you may be able to teach that to somebody, and you could teach that face to face in a classroom or in a college. In terms of teaching that face-to-face, one of the things that I've done is I've taught using an agency. So I worked with an agency who got me some work part-time in a college. I did probably about 10 hours a week for a while in a local college, which was really interesting. I taught on the health and social care programme for 16 to 18-year-olds. So it depends on what you've done, you know, it depends on your area of expertise, your knowledge in terms of what training you can deliver. But that's a really nice little side hustle. Some of that teaching was inside office hours and some of that teaching was in the evenings. I've also done that online, so you can create a course and host it on a platform somewhere. So I used, I think it was Udemy, but there's loads of them out there. There's loads of different platforms where you can host a training course, and you can actually host that and sell that. You create and deliver all your content and post it up, and it's like an evergreen content. It's there all the time, and someone just purchases that and downloads that. The trick with that is you've got to market that, so you've got to be good at selling and marketing. So that's another way of doing training. But also you can deliver live, so you can do things on Microsoft Teams, or you can do it on Zoom or any other video platform. You can do it in a WhatsApp group, for example, and teach live. You may be, let's say you may have done therapies before. You may have been really good at hypnotherapy. You could teach that. You may be really good at, you may be a Reiki teacher. You could teach Reiki if you've done that before. You can pretty much teach anything that you know about. You need to be a little bit careful, so you might need some business insurance depending on what you're teaching, and you might need to make sure that you are qualified to teach some of the things that you teach. So some things do mean that you need to have not necessarily a teaching qualification, but a relevant qualification. Let's talk about Reiki, for example. I know that to teach Reiki, you've got to be at a particular level to be able to teach somebody else to do that. But not everything is the same. So have a think about what you're good at, have a think about what you know, have a think about what your experience is, and think about developing a training program. Think about putting yourself out there as a freelance trainer. There are lots of organisations out there who will work with freelance trainers. So they may have a bigger training company and they will hire a freelance trainer to deliver some of their training. So I did that, for example, for a while, and the training company hired me to go out and deliver just some of their training, and they paid me a portion of the fee that they charged the company that they delivered for. I think I used to make about £100 a day to about £250 a day doing that. Now, if you're freelance training on your own and you're not doing it with an agency or another organisation, you can make anywhere upwards of from about £450 a day, depending on your specialism. I do know trainers who've charged £2,000 to £3,000 for what they do, but they're very specialised and very niche. They're the lawyers of this world and the doctors who've got really, really specific skills. What you want to do with that is you want to niche down. So make sure that what you're teaching is something that not many other people teach, and then you're in demand because you're teaching that thing. So I hope that makes sense about teaching, training and sharing your skills. Number three is doing coaching and therapies. So you don't need to have university qualifications to learn these things. So for example, I'm going to talk about Reiki again. It's something that's really popular these days, and to train to be a Reiki practitioner, it doesn't take very long, perhaps a couple of days depending on your Reiki master, and the charge, you know, can vary. So a couple of £100 maybe, sometimes not even that, and you will go through 2 levels of training, and then you will be qualified to actually give Reiki to somebody else, and then you'll be able to set up a little practice. And with something like a therapy, it's really easy to do things like hire a therapy room just ad hoc. You'll find somewhere locally, perhaps where someone's got a business and they've got a bit of a, you know, a gap where they're not providing any services for somebody in their rooms free, and they might just want to rent a room out maybe for one evening a week or something like that. And you could start, so you could go in and you could use their equipment, you could use their therapy bed or their therapy chair and just pay them for the room rental, and that would give you a little bit of an income to start that little business. With something like Reiki, you can go around and deliver that in people's homes as well. It just depends on what you're comfortable with. Remember your health and safety. Remember that if you're going to deliver it in somebody else's home, you really need to make sure that you feel safe doing that. You can do other therapies. So I learned hypnotherapy at one time, and I learned life coaching. So I've done both of those. Freelance, I've done both of those as a full-time business, not just as a side hustle, but I continued to side hustle them when I worked full-time. And again, those qualifications can cost you anything from a couple of £100 to thousands. It just depends where you train, who you train with, what kind of coaching, what kind of hypnotherapy you want to do. And there's lots of learning to do with that, no doubt. But it is something that you can do. And you can niche as well. You can coach for business, you can coach for relationships, you can coach for abundance, all sorts of things that you can do. And it's the same with hypnotherapy. You can do hypnotherapy for a particular thing. You could work with people on anxiety, you could work with people who had phobias, lots of different things. I also did, as well as being a life coach, I was a trained NLP, neuro-linguistic programming practitioner, and I loved that. Again, and all those skills can gel together and you can use them all together. So there's loads of different therapies out there. I haven't really got the time to go through every single one, but explore, see what you like, see what you will feel comfortable with. Lots of therapy schools do taster sessions, and see how you feel. You know, there's an abundance of things out there that you can do. You could sell online. Selling online is really exciting these days, so you can do a number of things with that as well. One of the things that has become really interesting to my lovely daughter, hiya Laura if you're watching, is that she's found some treasures in her loft, I think, and she's been selling stuff that they no longer need in their house, and she's made quite a lot of money from that. She also sold some things that she picked up from her late grandma's house, and she made some money on that. But she loves going around the little charity shops, or the thrift stores, if you call them thrift stores, or Goodwill. But here in the UK, they're charity shops. And she likes to buy little bits and pieces and just float them on eBay, and makes a little bit of a profit on there. A little bit of a side hustle for her. You know, it just helps pay the debt down. It helps them go for a meal, go away somewhere. So selling online, what we call, you know, buying and selling, often that's just called flipping, isn't it? Buying something and then selling it somewhere else and making a little bit of a profit. That's a really nice thing to do. The other thing you can do with that is you can buy wholesale. So one of the things that I'm putting my toe in the water with is I've got an account with a wholesaler that I really love, and I will show you some of the things that I want to sell. I don't know how well you can see that. I think that's really pretty. Hopefully it's not too far off camera. That's the kind of thing that I'm going to start selling online or at fairs. So, you know, the little village fairs and things like that. Lovely tie-dye clothing. So you can sell those things online. You buy from a wholesaler, you buy in bulk from a wholesaler. Minimum spend for me is £100 with that particular wholesaler, and you can probably earn 2 to 3 times the amount that you've spent, depending on your market. You can also take things like that to local markets, to local craft fairs, to you know, charity events and things like that, and they tend to sell really well. So I've not started that yet. I had planned to start that before I became unwell. I will pick that up again once I'm better. So you can sell online, you can sell face to face, and you can do a bit of both if you want to. So that's another great side hustle. The other thing you can do is you can create to sell. So you can do things like craft projects, and there's so many things out there that you can do. You can use some of the stuff that you've got lying around in your house, for example, to create something. I collect empty jars, so one of the things that I'm going to start doing is to paint on glass and make candle holders and things like that. That's something I'm really interested in doing. Only reason I've not done it up to now is I've not really had the time, but I've seen it done. Paper craft, so you can make journals. So I will show you some journals that I've got, and you can do things like I'm making dream catchers, for example, at the moment. At the moment those are for gifts, but you can use your talents to sell online. If you're an artist, for example, you could create some of your artwork and sell prints of that. You could sell the originals even. If you're a good photographer, you could sell some of your photographs. I've bought prints from a local photographer just because I love them, and I like her, and I like to think that I've got her artwork on my wall. Some of the craft things that I've done, let me show you what I've been doing. None of these are finished, but they're all a work in progress. So I do create little doodles to put on Christmas cards. Not sure whether I'll sell them. I may do. I may just use them to give as gifts. So not sure whether you can see that really well. Just a very, very tiny little doodle, and that, to be honest with you, would probably look really cute just framed. You'd be surprised how nice things can look. A little robin I've done. He looks quite cute. Again, framed in the right frame, I think he would look really nice. And a little snowman. He looks a bit scary actually. Not quite sure you can see him, a little snowman. So they're just little doodles, and it's nothing really, and I could frame them and sell them if I had a mind to. The other thing that I'm passionate about at the moment is a junk journal. I won't sell this one. This is my prototype, but inside you can see where I've made little things that I can write on. So I can write on the back of that if I want to. I can write on the front and the back of this. And it's just a nice idea. This junk journal is all made out of things that I've got lying around in the flat. Old bits of paper, an old book, just scraps from old notebooks, things like that. How you make it is really easy. The cover is the box of an old, I think it was chocolate bars, and I've just decorated that up, and it's made, and I will do another video on how to do these at some point. But if you don't want to buy journals and buy writing books, that's a great way of doing it, a junk journal. The other thing I've been doing is dream catchers. So these are lovely. This is a moon shaped one. Really easy, uses up old bits of wool. This one in particular is unusual because it's a moon shaped one, but you can get round ones. And it's really easy to make the pattern and then tie on the tassels. And what I'll do with that is I'll finish that off with feathers and beads to make it look really pretty. So they are some of the craft things, just some ideas, but you will have your own ideas about what craft things you can do to actually create and potentially sell online or sell at craft fairs, etc. Number 6 then is to write an ebook. I've been floating this idea for a long time. You can write some of the things that you're, about some of the things that you're really good at. So you could, let's say you're really good at creating dream catchers. You could write an ebook about that. You could put some diagrams in. You could write an ebook about your experiences in your life. Maybe you've been through something that was traumatic and you want to share that with people to help them. You could write an ebook on that. You can use some of the AI tools to help you with that. I understand that things like ChatGPT can really help you with writing ebooks. The idea is that you tell ChatGPT what you want it to write, and it writes it for you, and then you go through and you check it and you edit it. But I've yet to have a go at that. But I do know people who've written ebooks and they're doing really well. So that's something that you can think about. And then the last one is get paid to do YouTube. And that's really interesting because I don't get paid yet to do YouTube, but I am in the process. It is quite a long journey. So you need to have 4,000 watched hours and you need to have 1,000 subscribers to actually get paid. And what you do is when you've reached that, Google AdSense will send you a message and invites you to come and be a partner in the program, and you join that. I mean, this is very simplified. Please don't think that it's as simple as that, because it isn't. But in a simplified version, you join that program, and then every time you create and upload a video, Google AdSense puts adverts in your videos, and then you get paid from those adverts. It's not a great deal, but if you do really well with your videos, you know, if you've got 1 million views and you're getting paid, I don't know, $1 a time, it's a lot of money. I'm nowhere near that, but it's an idea, and I can only recommend starting a YouTube channel, because not only is it about getting paid, but it's a whole new skill set, and I've absolutely loved the journey. I really have. So I hope you found that useful. If you can think of any side hustles that I haven't mentioned, because there are hundreds out there, please let me know in the comments. Let's have a chat about them. Maybe we can do another video about them. The importance of side hustles is that they can give you that extra income just to help you with paying your debt off, with managing your household budget, with creating a savings plan and all of those things. And they give you a little bit of an interest. And actually having different income streams is really, really important. If you were ever to lose your job or something like that, at least you've got another income stream if one or two of those things are working. And with some of them, like writing an ebook, you write the book and you market it. The work's done up front, isn't it? You don't have to think about writing that again. It's the same with creating one of those training programs, popping it online somewhere and marketing it. It's almost like a residual income, which is great, isn't it? So I hope you have enjoyed that. Please let me know if you have. Let me know if you can think of anything else that we've missed. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.